me.
Hello, Ghostbusters. Yes, of course they're serious. You do? You have? No kidding. Uh-huh. Well, just give me the address. Yes, of course. Oh, they'll be totally discreet. Thank you. We got one!
Devil May Cry.
Dear and esteemed viewer, permit me, if you will, to discourse upon a digital phantasmagoria the likes of which mortal comprehension scarcely dares to contemplate. A production of such baroque splendour and infernal audacity that it seems less a mere video game and more a divine revelation wrought in pixel and polygon. I speak, of course, of Devil May Cry, a title whose very utterance causes the chandeliers of taste to tremble and the cherubim of moderation to flee in scandalised disarray. The central figure of this operatic calamity is one Dante, a being so preternaturally resplendent that his every gesture radiates an aura of lethal poetry. Imagine, if you dare, a seraph cast from heaven for crimes of excessive glamour, now doomed to wander the mortal plane armed with twin pistols named Ebony and Ivory, whose every report rings like the tolling of cathedral bells in the House of Cool. His mane of argent hair flutters with the insolent grace of a condemned angel's sigh, and his crimson coat billows perpetually as though the very air itself cannot resist the temptation to adore him. The narrative, if one may apply such a pedestrian term, concerns the eternal struggle betwixt humanity and demonkind, though to confine it thus would be akin to describing the Sistine Chapel as a bit of ceiling art. It unfolds within a castle so gargantuan, so architecturally preposterous that Euclid himself would renounce geometry rather than attempt to comprehend it. Corridors coil like serpents, stairways ascend toward metaphysical absurdity, and each chamber drips with gothic melancholy so dense it would be wrung from the stone like the very juice of despair. And oh, the combat. Words tremble upon the precipice of inadequacy before such a spectacle. Dante's blade, Rebellion, cleaves through abomination with the languid elegance of a fencing master drunk on moonlight, whilst his pistols erupt in a duet of destruction so rhythmically intoxicating that even the muses would abandon poetry for a gun carter. Every confrontation becomes a sonata of slaughter, each strike a verse in an epic poem written not in ink but in style. The game, in its infinite hubris, dares to grade one's performance, not upon efficacy but upon flamboyance. How exquisitely modern. Dull, it chides, if one dispatches a foe without panache. Bravo, it murmurs approvingly as the player pirouettes through the carnage. Stylish, it declares with divine rapture when destruction achieves the condition of art. Thus, Devil May Cry transforms violence into choreography, turning battle into ballet and rendering death itself an aesthetic experience. Visually it is a chiaroscuro dream, a gothic hallucination painted in shadow and stone. The very air of the castle seems to shimmer with the perspiration of haunted beauty. One does not simply traverse its halls, one wanders them, as a penitent pilgrim might traverse purgatory, awed by the melancholy grandeur of damnation. The music, heavens preserve us, alternates between ecclesiastical chanting that evokes the trembling of ancient cathedrals and the electric lamentations of guitars whose strings seem strung with the very sinews of the fallen angels. It is a sonic apocalypse, a requiem mass performed by demons with perfect pitch. And yet amidst the theatrical delirium, there resides a purity of intent so crystalline that it borders upon the divine. The creators of Devil May Cry sought not to simulate reality, nor to instruct the mind, but to exalt the sensation of cool to the realm of transcendence. They have succeeded. The game does not merely depict heroism, it exhales it. One emerges from the experience feeling not entertained, but transfigured. In conclusion, dear viewer, Devil May Cry is not so much played as it is experienced in rapture. It is less an action game and more a sacrament of spectacle, a holy communion of aesthetic excess. It is an invocation to abandon restraint, to embrace the divine absurdity of style unshackled. I close with this modest proclamation. If Dante were to stride into my drawing room, coat aflame with metaphor, I should faint dead away, not from fear, but from unbearable beauty of his smug perfection. 7 out of 10. It still handles like shit, and everybody looks like they've been carved out of tofu.
I am the storm that is approaching.
I know that I'm not easy. This cold heart